1952 was one of the biggest years of UFO sightings in U.S. history.
We stand on the edge of revelation, gazing at footage the Pentagon once guarded with fierce secrecy.
Today's video is brought to you by, yes, Magic Spoon.
New angles, new data, and a swirl of questions about unidentified craft in our skies.
They all started appearing shortly after the UFO, the bombs were dropped. See,
1947.
Could these glimpses change what we know about existence? The time for speculation has ended. Are you ready? Let's begin. A leaked encounter, the 2004 Nimitz incident. It all started when Navy pilots from the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group saw something that shouldn't exist. Radar picks up an object dropping from 80,000 feet to sea level in seconds, an impossible maneuver by conventional standards. Two FA-18F Super Hornets scramble to investigate. Eyes locked on a white tic-tac-shaped craft, they circle around, expecting it to zip away or drop. Instead, it darts around effortlessly, as if toying with them. The pilots' voices, caught on camera, reflect awe and confusion. Officially, the brass took notice, but stayed tight-lipped. Then the footage leaked, setting off a wave of speculation that has yet to settle. Could it be ours, or someone else's entirely? Pentagon confirmation, the 2017 revelations. In December 2017, the New York Times released an article that sent ripples around the world. It confirmed something many suspected, but few could prove. The Pentagon had been running a secret program to study UFOs. Named the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, it operated quietly between 2007 and 2012, yet rumors say it never really shut down. The article brought to light videos captured by military pilots, including the now infamous Tic Tac footage. Suddenly, mainstream conversations about UFOs were no longer relegated to sci-fi conventions. Official documents showed the government had been taking sightings seriously. For believers, it felt like a vindication. For skeptics, it raised more questions than it answered. And for everyone, it changed everything. Historic waves. The 1952 Washington, D.C. sightings. That summer, strange lights streaked across the skies of the nation's capital. Air traffic controllers at Washington National Airport watched blips appear on radar, then vanish, only to reappear elsewhere. Pilots reported bright orbs moving at extraordinary speeds, ignoring all known flight patterns. The media ran headlines about UFOs invading the capital, causing national anxiety. President Harry Truman demanded explanations. The Air Force scrambled jets, but each time fighters got close, the objects shot away at unimaginable velocity. Authorities blamed temperature inversions, but many found the explanation lacking. These sightings remain among the most famous in U.S. history, fueling public fascination. Even decades later, the Washington, D.C. wave stands as a pivotal moment in official UFO inquiries. Project Blue Book, the Air Force investigation. In 1952, at the height of UFO mania, the U.S. Air Force launched Project Blue Book to investigate flying saucer reports. Based at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio, a small team sifted through thousands of sighting reports. From everyday citizens to seasoned pilots, the stories poured in. Most were explained as natural phenomena, misidentified aircraft, or hoaxes, yet a fraction, over 700 cases, remained unexplained. The program's director, Dr. J. Allen Hynek, began as a skeptic, but emerged with cautious belief that something unearthly might be behind certain cases. Although Project Blue Book officially ended in 1969, its files continue to intrigue researchers. What did the Air Force really discover, and how many secrets remain locked away? Roswell 1947, a mystery that sparked it all. In the summer of 1947, rancher Mac Brazel found debris strewn across his land near Roswell, New Mexico. Strange metal-like materials that allegedly snapped back to shape, and odd sticks with hieroglyphic symbols were collected. The local Army airfield initially claimed it had recovered a flying disc, only to retract the statement a day later. Suddenly, talk of weather balloons replaced claims of mysterious wreckage. The airwaves and newspapers lit up with heated debates. Did the military cover up a crashed alien craft, or was it really all just top-secret technology? Roswell became ground zero for UFO folklore, igniting countless theories and government conspiracies. Even now, it remains a cornerstone of the modern UFO discussion. AATIP unveiled secret government research. Although formal efforts like Project Blue Book concluded decades ago, the government's curiosity about UFOs never ended. In 2007, under the Defense Intelligence Agency, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, AATIP, quietly started. Its mandate: investigate reports of inexplicable aerial activity that could pose national security risks. For years, it remained in the shadows, studying pilot testimonies, radar data, and physical evidence of alleged sightings. Insiders speak of analyzing exotic materials and advanced propulsion theories. Some rumored them to be light years ahead of known science. While official channels insisted the program ended in 2012, many believe it morphed into successor efforts. When word of ATIP broke in 2017, it was a bombshell revelation that the Pentagon had never stopped looking skyward. Gimbal and Go Fast. Videos that shocked pilots. Alongside the Tic Tac clip, two other Navy videos emerged: Gimbal and Go Fast. In the gimbal footage, an object appears to rotate mid-air as stunned pilots exchange bewildered exclamations. It defies ordinary aerodynamics, accelerating without any visible wings or exhaust. Meanwhile, Go Fast features a fast-moving craft skimming above the ocean's surface at incredible speeds. Military experts dissected the footage frame by frame, searching for conventional explanations: drones, balloons, illusions. But something about these videos felt different. The conversation among pilots sounds genuine, marked by excitement and a tinge of dread. They chase the target only to witness maneuvers that defy logic. When the Pentagon acknowledged their authenticity, it solidified that something truly unknown was at play. Tehran, 1976. Night of the interceptor chase. In the dark skies over Tehran, Iran, fighter jets were scrambled to chase a luminous, shape-shifting object. The year was 1976, and local residents flooded phone lines with UFO reports. When F-4 interceptor pilots approached the radiant craft, their instruments began to malfunction. Jet controls flickered, weapon systems went offline. Suddenly, a second object detached from the main craft, zipping toward the lead jet. The pilot tried to lock on, but everything froze. Witness accounts describe brilliant lights that divided and re-merged. Eventually, the UFO darted away at impossibly high speeds. The case was documented in a U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency report, noting that the incident defied known technology. Over 40 years later, it still rattles imaginations. The 1967 Malmstrom AFB intrusions. At Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana, 1967, an unsettling event unfolded. Mysterious red lights appeared above nuclear missile silos, and then out of nowhere, 10 Minuteman missiles went offline. Strategic Air Command was baffled. Systems designed with multiple failsafes just shut down. Guards reported seeing a glowing craft hovering near the gates. Simultaneously, a similar event took place at another missile site nearby. On both occasions, the unidentified lights vanished, and the missiles had to be rebooted manually. Official reports mentioned equipment malfunctions, but some maintain that the timing was too precise. Did these unknown visitors demonstrate an ability to disable the world's deadliest weapons? If so, it raises chilling questions about who or what holds that power. Rendlesham Forest, 1980. Britain's Roswell. In late December 1980, U.S. Air Force personnel stationed at RAF Woodbridge in England spotted unusual lights in Rendlesham Forest. Thinking it might be a downed aircraft, they investigated and stumbled upon something else entirely. A triangular craft, resting among the trees, reportedly emitted a bright glow. Some servicemen claimed to see strange markings on its surface, reminiscent of hieroglyphs. Over the following nights, the activity repeated, with beams of light shining down near strategic facilities. Lieutenant Colonel Charles Holt documented the incident in a famous memo describing the unexplained lights and unusual radiation readings. British authorities insisted there was nothing extraordinary, attributing sightings to a nearby lighthouse. But for many, Rendlesham is Britain's best-known and most credible UFO encounter. Phoenix Lights, 1997, a sky full of questions. On March 13, 1997, thousands of people in Arizona, including the governor, reported a massive V-shaped formation gliding silently across the night sky. Others saw a row of lights appearing and disappearing. Many described it as wider than several football fields, blocking out stars as it passed overhead. Military flares, secret aircraft, explanations varied, but witnesses remained firm that it was something unprecedented. The incident stretched from Nevada down to Tucson, with calls flooding local news stations. When the story hit national media, skeptics quickly tried to debunk it as flares dropped by the Air National Guard. Yet the sheer number of consistent testimonies keeps it alive as one of the largest mass UFO sightings in modern history. The 2020 official release, Tic Tac, confirmed. While the Tic Tac video had already leaked in 2017, official confirmation only came in 2020. The Pentagon released 3 UFO videos, Tic Tac, Gimbal, and Go Fast, stating they showed unidentified aerial phenomena. This moment was groundbreaking. Government agencies rarely declassify such material, let alone label the objects unidentified. Almost overnight, mainstream news outlets buzzed with discussion about what these videos really meant. Were they foreign drones, advanced technology from a rival nation, or something beyond human engineering? The Pentagon's statement was measured, but the public reaction was electric. For decades, UFO talk had been mocked or sidelined. Now official channels were acknowledging that these flying enigmas truly existed and remained unexplained. A new era had begun. The 2015 USS Roosevelt encounters. Navy pilots operating from the USS Theodore Roosevelt in 2015 reported regular encounters with unknown crafts off the East Coast. These objects could accelerate to hypersonic speeds, stop instantly, and execute maneuvers far beyond conventional aircraft. Sophisticated radar systems recorded repeated anomalies. Worried about collisions, some pilots filed official safety reports. Descriptions included small, sphere-like vehicles enclosed in a transparent cube, while others saw objects that appeared to dive into the ocean. Publicly, explanations ranged from advanced drones to sensor errors. But the testimonies of well-trained aviators suggested something real was happening in restricted airspace. Years later, video snippets from these missions joined the conversation, further fueling speculation about an ongoing presence that defies our known technology. 2021 DNI report, a new dawn of transparency. When the Director of National Intelligence released a preliminary assessment in June 2021, it captured global attention. The report examined 144 incidents of unidentified aerial phenomena observed by U.S. military personnel between 2004 and 2021. Officials concluded most sightings could not be explained, citing insufficient data. Only one was attributed to a deflating balloon. The remaining 143 appeared to demonstrate unusual flight characteristics. The report stopped short of linking them to extraterrestrials, yet it did highlight potential national security concerns. Washington insiders suddenly showed fresh willingness to discuss UFOs in serious terms, shifting the narrative from fringe speculation to legitimate inquiry. It was not a smoking gun, but it signaled official recognition of a genuine mystery in our skies. Congress takes notice. 2022 hearings. In 2022, a remarkable event took place on Capitol Hill. For the first time in over 50 years, congressional hearings on UFOs were held in a public forum. defense officials testified about the challenges in identifying objects that move unpredictably in restricted airspace. Lawmakers asked pointed questions, pushing for clarity on whether these UAPs were foreign adversaries or something else entirely. While some answers remained vague, the mere fact that UFOs were being discussed openly was historic. Security concerns, pilot safety, and advanced technology possibilities took center stage. Many believed it could spark deeper investigations, more funding for research, and fewer secrets kept behind classified doors. A new chapter of government-level transparency had seemingly arrived for the phenomenon. Dr. Stephen Greer's Briefings, the UFO Whistleblowers. Dr. Stephen Greer, a medical doctor turned UFO researcher, has long been known for organizing high-profile press events that feature military and government witnesses. In 2001, his Disclosure Project press conference introduced accounts from individuals who claimed first-hand knowledge of crash sources, retrieval teams, and covert operations. Their testimonies were at times breathtaking, at times hard to swallow. Over the years, Greer has continued to collect and present whistleblower statements, pressing for government openness. Critics question the authenticity of some testimonies, yet others see it as a courageous stand against secrecy. Regardless, these briefings underscored a hunger for disclosure, pushing more insiders to step forward. Whether you believe all of it or not, it's part of the broader conversation on UFO truth. Belgium, 1989. Triangular craft in the night. During the winter of 1989, the skies over Belgium erupted with reports of massive, silent, triangular UFOs. Glowing lights formed corners of these floating giants, hovering or moving slowly at low altitude. Hundreds, including police officers, documented their presence. The Belgian Air Force scrambled F-16s to intercept, capturing radar data showing erratic movements that seemed impossible for known aircraft. The craft would dart off at extraordinary speeds, then stop abruptly, baffling pilots. The media frenzy sparked a dedicated investigation by the Belgian authorities. Though skeptics cited misidentifications, the consistency of sightings and radar tracks left many officials puzzled. To this day, the Belgian wave remains one of Europe's most compelling UFO events, raising the question of advanced aerial technologies lurking nearby. Project Sign and Project Grudge before Blue Book. Years prior to Project Blue Book, the U.S. Air Force undertook two lesser-known programs: Project Sign, 1947 to 1949, and Project Grudge, 1949 to 1951. With the Kenneth Arnold sighting and other high-profile cases fresh in memory, the Air Force sought to categorize and understand the spate of unusual craft. Project Sign's initial approach seemed open to the possibility of extraterrestrial origins. Some staff even leaned toward an interplanetary hypothesis. When it shifted to Project Grudge, the tone changed. Official stances grew dismissive, blaming hysteria or hoaxes. Many analysts saw Project Grudge as a debunking campaign. Eventually, the cycle gave rise to Project Blue Book. While these earlier efforts are less famous, they laid the groundwork for how officials would handle UFO inquiries for decades. Kenneth Arnold, 1947, the sighting that coined flying saucer.
Shortly after the UFO, the bombs were dropped. See,
1947, and that's when we'd reorganize the military.
On June 24th, 1947, private pilot Kenneth Arnold was flying near Mount Rainier in Washington state when a bright flash caught his eye. He spotted 9 gleaming objects speeding in formation at an estimated 1,700 miles per hour, a speed unheard of for aircraft at the time. Describing their motion, Arnold said they skipped like saucers on water. The press latched onto this phrase, birthing the term flying saucer. Arnold's story triggered a nationwide craze, with reports of unexplained lights and shapes filling newspapers. Although skeptics offered alternative explanations, mirages, secret military jets, Arnold stood by his account. His sighting marked the beginning of the modern UFO era, shifting public perceptions and igniting global curiosity about unexplained objects overhead. The Mantell Incident, a pursuit gone wrong. In January 1948, Captain Thomas Mantell of the Kentucky Air National Guard chased an unidentified flying object near Godman Field, Kentucky. Observers described a large metallic craft towering in the sky. Determined, Mantell climbed higher, but lacked an oxygen mask. He radioed descriptions of an enormous object moving at great speed. Suddenly, communications ceased. His plane crashed, killing him. Investigations concluded that Mantell had likely pursued a skyhook weather balloon, leading him to lose consciousness from lack of oxygen. Others argued the official conclusion sounded too convenient. The tragedy introduced real-life danger into UFO pursuits. Whether he truly chased a balloon or something more exotic, Mantell's death became a sobering reminder of the risks in the hunt for answers. Project Mogul versus UFOs, the Roswell debate. In the 1990s, decades after the Roswell incident, the U.S. Air Force published reports explaining that the debris recovered in 1947 was part of Project Mogul, a top-secret balloon project designed to detect Soviet nuclear tests. These trains of balloons carried acoustic sensors and radar reflectors, which some say resembled alien materials. Skeptics found that plausible, claiming the military's secrecy around Mogul fed rumors of crashed saucers. However, Roswell enthusiasts pointed out discrepancies in testimonies, insisting there was more to the story than mere balloons. The debate turned fierce, sparking TV documentaries, books, and heated discussions. Mogul might explain some details, but it doesn't fully satisfy those who believe an extraterrestrial craft met its fate in the New Mexico desert. Japan Airlines, Flight 1628, over Alaska, 1986. On a chilly November evening, a Japan Airlines cargo flight flying over Alaska encountered something massive and unexplainable. Captain Kenju Terauchi and his crew reported seeing bright lights and a giant walnut-shaped object that dwarfed their Boeing 747. The UFO maneuvered around them, at times appearing on radar screens at both civilian and military installations. Terauchi even joked it was twice as big as an aircraft carrier. Air traffic control instructed them to change course, but the object followed, weaving in and out of radar contact. An official Federal Aviation Administration investigation took place. While some chalk it up to illusions or radar glitches, the captain's detailed account remains among the most striking pilot encounters on record. Celestial Intruder, the Westall, 1966 case. In a suburb of Melbourne, Australia, on April 6, 1966, more than 200 students and teachers of Westall High School witnessed a disc-like craft descend into a paddock before taking off into the sky. Some accounts claim multiple flying objects hovered near the area. Teachers tried to maintain order, but news of the sighting quickly leaked. Officials arrived, cautioning witnesses to keep silent. The local press covered it, but details quickly got muddled by dismissive explanations of weather balloons. Decades later, eyewitnesses still insist on what they saw: a silver-gray saucer performing maneuvers beyond conventional craft. The Westall incident remains Australia's largest mass UFO sighting, with unanswered questions lingering about what truly landed near that quiet schoolyard. 1980s. CIA declassifications, spy planes, and UFO misidentifications. When the CIA declassified certain Cold War documents in the 1980s, a surprising revelation emerged. Many UFO reports from the 1950s and 1960s were actually sightings of secret U-2 and SR-71 spy planes. These high-altitude jets soared well above commercial airspace, leading pilots and civilians to describe bizarre silvery objects overhead. The government, bound by secrecy, let UFO theories thrive rather than reveal covert programs. This official acknowledgement explained a significant number of sightings, but not all. Skeptics felt vindicated that many UFOs were top-secret aircraft, yet believers pointed out that genuine unknowns remained, even after factoring in spy plane misidentifications. The revelations underscored how easily secret military hardware can fuel UFO mania and how governments sometimes exploit that confusion. Could they be ours? The Skunk Works rumors. For decades, speculation has swirled around Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works, the storied division behind cutting-edge aircraft like the SR-71 Blackbird and the F-117 Nighthawk. UFO buffs claim these engineers might have reverse-engineered alien tech or developed undisclosed platforms that mimic UFO maneuvers. Officially, the Skunk Works focuses on stealth and advanced aeronautics for defense. Unofficially, rumor has it, they push boundaries beyond what's publicly acknowledged. Former director Ben Rich once hinted at extraordinary capabilities, fueling whispers that the next generation of secret aircraft might already be exploring near-space altitudes. While no proof exists that they've built genuine flying saucers, the persistent rumors feed curiosity. If some UFOs are simply man-made marvels, the Skunk Works is high on the suspect list. The Pentagon's latest video, a final revelation. In the midst of swirling rumors, the Pentagon stunned the public by releasing another short clip, a barely lit object coursing across the sky, tracked by an infrared camera. The craft's movements were erratic, unlike any known drone or airplane. Officials provided minimal commentary beyond confirming the footage came from naval operations. Many wondered if this was another slip or a deliberate disclosure. Skeptics rushed to demystify the clip, labeling it a bird or optical glare. Yet pilots who saw it remained convinced it was something extraordinary. In a world hungry for revelations, this new footage was a reminder that the line between secrecy and disclosure is razor thin. Could this be the tip of a very large interstellar iceberg? Thanks for watching.